to the former president should he win again. I think when you talk to Democrats leading into this, there's some concern about the kind of Midwestern appeal that Vance, an Ohio senator who kind of pushes populist policies and is considered, I think, one of the leading advocates for a new populist Republican Party on the policy front, what it would actually mean to that critical blue wall, those blue wall states. One thing Democrats make clear, though, both in that statement from Jen O'Malley Dillon, but also in the lead up to this moment, they feel like there are significant areas where they plan to attack. They already are attacking, and certainly there will be more attacks on the policy, the politics, and the vice presidential selection in the days and weeks ahead, Anderson.
Yeah, Phil, thanks very much. Alyssa, what does the selection of J.D. Vance mean?
It's a strategic gamble, but I think it speaks to just how confident the Trump campaign is.
Strategic gamble, why?
There are major vulnerabilities with J.D. Vance. You have tons of times that he's been on the record back when he was a never-Trumper, calling the most horrific names that you could about the now president.
You refer to him as America's Hitler.
America's Hitler, among others. But he is also someone, his talent, to give him credit, he's incredibly savvy. He can appear in mainstream media and give a coherent, eloquent version of MAGA and go toe-to-toe with the best interviewer. But then he'll appear on extremely far-right media where he said much more outrageous things that I'm sure Democrats everywhere are digging up now to portray him as the most extreme version of MAGA. So there's going to be a big dump of some of the things he said on Steve Bannon's War Room and elsewhere that I think the campaign needs to be ready for, whereas a Doug Burgum would be about as safe as can be. However, J.D. Vance, I think, really resonates in key Pennsylvania. He's got the story. He's got that national profile. So there's some pros and some major cons.
Yeah, I think